Wow, what a crazy, crazy finish in Toronto. The Sacramento Kings three-game win streak comes to an end. Final score in overtime. Raptors 131, the Kings 128. Boy, I mean, that was a crazy, crazy finish for a early season game. Kings had chances and some letdowns. This was a game, a winnable game. You had a chance to win and you didn't win tonight. Let's talk about the numbers and I'll get into the deep dive in that fourth quarter and overtime because I have some things to say. Sabonis in 43 minutes, he had 17 points, 10 assists, 20 boards. Fox in 43 minutes, he had 24 points, 6 rebounds. DeMar DeRozan in 43 minutes, he had 33 points, 4 boards, 4 assists. Keegan Murray, 39 minutes, he had 16 points, 11 rebounds. And Doug McDermott got the start for Kevin Huerter tonight. In 15 minutes, he had 4 points. Malik Monk off the bench, 38 minutes, he had 21 points. Keon Ellis in 27 minutes, he had 8 points. Trey Lyles in 13 minutes, he had 5 points. And Jordan McLaughlin got 5 minutes tonight, and he had 0 points. Let's just talk about that fourth quarter because there was a pivotal moment in the game where De'Aaron Fox had a lazy-ass turnover, and he ran back on the fast break, and he got posterized. I thought the game was cooked. I thought De'Aaron Fox was cooked. He had a terrible, terrible game. Yeah, he had 24 points because after that moment, the heat of that moment when he got posterized on the fast break, he woke up. And I'm glad he got posterized because before he got posterized, De'Aaron Fox was freaking terrible tonight. He was just not good tonight. And after that moment, he got going offensively and he took over in the fourth quarter and was a big reason why the Kings got back in the game after getting dunked on and posterized on the fast break, which led to giving them a chance to go ahead or forcing this game to overtime. Sabonis beats the buzzer at the end of regulation in the fourth quarter to send this game over to overtime. And in overtime, before overtime, Keegan Murray fouls out in the fourth quarter. You go with the 3-guard lineup. Yes, you have Monk, Fox, Keon Ellis, 3-guard lineup to go with DeRozan and Sabonis going to the fourth quarter. Let's close this shit out in the fourth quarter, right? In overtime, right? DeMar DeRozan did his thing in overtime. He literally kept the Kings in the game in overtime. And knowing that, the Raptors were playing hard, they had multiple players knocking down big shots. RJ Barrett, Grady Dick, Chris Boucher, Bobby Boucher, who always is notoriously known for destroying the Sacramento Kings. Put him out there as an all-time Kings legend, all-time Kings killer, because every time he's played the Kings, he has destroyed the Sacramento Kings, and tonight was no different. But here's my problem. Here's my problem in that overtime. DeMar DeRozan did his thing. He had 33 points. He literally kept you in the game in that overtime. You cannot have him just single-handedly keeping you in the game by himself. De'Aaron Fox has to step up. De'Aaron Fox was terrible in the overtime. Domantas Sabonis has to be better as well. Knowing that Sabonis was obviously played heavy minutes, obviously, but he had 20 rebounds, should I say. At the last 2 possessions, DeRozan had a tough 3 in the corner, which he's known to make, but he missed it. I can live with that 3 all day, every day, because he kept us in the game single-handedly in the overtime. De'Aaron Fox, that last possession, you have a 3-pointer, and you airballed the 3. Unacceptable, man. It's really unacceptable. You got to hit the 3 and try to force this game into double overtime, but you didn't. And you got to be better. Like, Fox did his thing in the fourth quarter. I get that. And DeRozan literally was the Kings' offense in that overtime. But, man, oh, man, they blew this game tonight. This was a blown opportunity. You're now 3-3 now, but you could have easily been 4-2 on a 4-game win streak. And the Kings blew it tonight. This is what happens when you give a young team confidence in the Raptors hanging around. And I'm not going to say hanging around. I'll give them credit where it's due. They led this game, majority of the game. And it was, Vince Carter retirement ceremony, getting his jersey up in the banner, getting his banner retired in the rafters. Shout out to Vince Carter, man. Grateful that he was with the Sacramento Kings for a year. Hell of a career with Toronto. And you know they were going to try to win this game for the Raptors. But got to give credit where it's due. The Kings just did not execute and make shots down the stretch when it needed to in that overtime. I'm okay with that DeMar DeRozan 3, but De'Aaron Fox, that was a wide open air ball. I mean, he said it was deflected. I just felt like you gotta make that shot. You know, you're proven to be one of the best clutch players in the game, and you just haven't done that this season yet. And the turnovers, man, he had 5 turnovers tonight. He's got to be better of taking care of the basketball. You have got to be better, De'Aaron, taking care of the basketball. You're not going to win many games having 5 turnovers. But, you know, I can't complain. DeMar DeRozan has saved this offense many times. Have given the Kings a chance to win, and tonight was no different. He kept us in the game in that fourth quarter, but he needs help. He's got to have help. You can't just heavily rely on DeMar DeRozan to bail you out, because tonight he needed somebody else to step up besides him in that overtime, and nobody. I'm looking at Fox. You know, I'm looking at Monk. I'm looking at Sabonis. Nobody put the ball in the hoop besides DeRozan in that overtime. So, you know, with that being said, the Kings will wrap up this road trip on Monday in Miami against the Heat. Monday's game is gonna be a tough game. The Miami Heat might not be as good as they once were before, but it's the last stop on this road trip, and it's in Miami. You gotta stay intact, and you gotta try to come out and win this game in Miami, because it's gonna be a tough game. Knowing that it's the last game before you go back home, it will be a very difficult win. It will be a very difficult game to play and win. So the Kings got to get ready for Monday against the Heat. So with that being said, guys, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Looking forward to this rematch. You know, the Kings got to get one against the Raptors on this upcoming week. They play Wednesday night, so they definitely got to get one then. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.